Hi students, this is Siddharth Mehta. So today I am going to discuss a difficult practice passage with respect to CLAT exam. I will say it is difficult. A student sent me this passage and asked me how to read such kind of passage. So let me show you the passage. This is the passage. If you see, this is on environment and science, and there are a lot of factual information, and people find it difficult such passages which has a lot of factual information and factual information related to topics which we are not very familiar with. So read this passage, stop the video, and then proceed how to read. I mean, I will tell you how I read such kind of passages, but before that, you give it a try. Right. So I'm sure that you must have read the passage by this time. Now, when we read such passage, I read the first two paragraph and I realized that this passage is less of author's opinion. And in fact, it is a factual from the point of view of the author. This is a factual passage, more or less a factual passage where he is telling what new discovery has been made. And he is telling it from the point of view of this person. Right. So these are difficult names to pronounce. Madeleine Baume, researcher at University of Tübingen in Germany. So these are all difficult names to pronounce, and that's why we sort of feel that the passage is very difficult. But thing to notice that these are all nouns. I mean, you replace the names by whatever you want. You call this person M for that matter. How does it matter? You call this person MB just with the initials. So wherever this person's name comes, you replace it by MB. This is also a name. This is also a name. So, but these things intimidate us. Don't get intimidated by such things. Now coming, of course, to the core of the passage. So when I read it, it became clear that this is more of a factual passage wherein author has cited the opinion of some other people, and particularly this person MB, what this person has found in his research, his or her research, whatever. So the author is talking about that particular research, and as I moved, I realized that rather than saying anything in a very well-established manner, it's more of an inference kind of thing where these researchers, MB, they have tried to infer a lot of things after they found one of the skeleton, which author is claiming to be very old. And on the basis of that skeleton, they are trying to infer few things. So nothing can be said about conclusive evidence here from the point of view of the research. That's how the passage has been structured. So what I will suggest when you come across such passages which has a lot of factual information, and author has used someone else, or author is describing someone else's work, right? So from the point of view of the author, of course the passage is factual, but for us to understand, what we need to focus now in such passage is what is the opinion of the person who is being cited often. So here that person is MB, and this person has been cited and his work has been cited. So for his work, what is his opinion? Because now the passage is written from his point of view, MB. So author is different person and he has given description of MB or MB's work. So we will focus on those areas where we get the opinion of MB on the particular topic, and that will make our life easy to understand the passage, because that's the area from where questions can come. So let us see what are such areas. So I will read. When MB researchers at University of Tübingen in Germany unearthed the partial skeleton of an ancient ape at this clay pit in Bavaria. So a lot of factual unnecessary information which are not required for me. So the content of the passage becomes clear to me. It's a partial skeleton of an ancient ape. Later on, of course, it will become more clear that what is the content. So these lines are about the partial skeleton that they have unearthed. She knew she was looking at something special. So okay, so this MB is a female character. I used a he for him, but that's okay. That's a factual error. So she knew she was looking at something special. All right. So this is the view of MB, that particular skeleton is special. So a question can come around this, right? And why is this special must have been written in these lines. must have been written in these lines. So let me proceed and see. The second paragraph of the passage is very factual in nature, and I cannot see any opinion either of the author or of the MB here. But let us read. Bombay and colleagues determined that bones they found came from a difficult name, but from a particular ape, an extinct ancestor of humans and great apes that lived in, again a difficult name, but a noun, so I can escape. The fossils are approximately 11.6 million old and came from at least 4 individuals, including one partial skeleton. The team described the newfound ancestors named Danuvius gugemos, again a very difficult name, in a study published in Nature. So second paragraph is absolutely factual about the new skeletons that they have found and what have they found. Such kind of things. Let us now proceed to the third paragraph. Now I'm calling this DG. DG was likely a small primate about the size of the baboon. Again, a factual information. What was DG like about? This is an important line because this established the link. Nevertheless, similarities with known apes stop there. So these particular lines, of course, tell me similarity with apes. And what should follow next is how they are not similar with apes, because nevertheless the similarity with known apes is stopped there. So this is similarity wala line. These 3-4 lines are similarity wala lines, and these lines must be telling me that how they are not similar, and that's what it is. The animal lower limbs have much more in common with human anatomy. So with apes the similarity and now the similarity is with human anatomy. Then these lines are yellow, are the inference. The animal's locomotion had therefore shared similarities with both human and ape movement, and DG may have been able to navigate the forest by swinging from 3 limbs and walking on 2 legs. So this is an inference that they are trying to make, that they have some similarity with the ape, they have some similarity with the human, and that's how they must have been moving in the forest, swinging from 3 limbs and walking on the 2 legs. None had heard of this hybrid locomotion dubbed extended limb clambering again. So important line because no one has ever heard about it, and this is called as extended dumb clambering. Now Biggin says again something which are factual in nature. Before this discovery, scientists used models of motion employed by living quadruped primates to inform how our early ancestor may have moved. Here we have something that does not exist today, he says. Very important. I should have marked even this, because this is again giving me new dimension, telling me new thing about this skeleton, that we have found something that does not exist today, because previously we used to believe something else, and that belief has been countered by what they have discovered. These lines again very important. Unlike great suspensory apes that favor their forelimbs and bipedal hominids which prefer their hind limbs, the anatomy of DG indicates that ancient primate used both sets of limb equally. So something similar to what they have inferred has been reiterated, that they used to opt for both form of movements. So this is again something that has been seen, and more of an inference. The curvature of the big toes suggests this animal would have been able to walk flat-footed using its longest toe to grasp the balance. Some sort of evidence to support the previous point. Our last common ancestors with grape apes does not look like chimp or any great living ape. He may have looked like Danuvius. Again, something which they are trying to infer. So understand that all the things in yellow here are either the opinion of the MB or the inference that they are trying to make, because in such passages you will find a lot of questions based on the inference, that what are they trying to establish, right? So all the things in yellow are more of inference or fact. The other things which I have not highlighted, I will not say that they are not important. They are important, because question can directly come based on the facts, but any which way, while understanding the passage, you won't require knowledge of these factual information. All you can say is that some facts are given. The important thing to understand is things in yellow are important. That MB and the team found something, a partial skeleton or the fossils, and they believe that they have found something special. Then the reason is given that why they believe something is special. They found something special. This particular thing, it has similarity with apes and also with the human, and the passage tries to infer that how they may have moved. They may have moved. They may have the movements both common to apes and also to the humans. And and in the last, it says that it also raises new question about the evolution of locomotion. Rather than humans evolving to become bipedal after splitting, apes must have evolved from a creature with bipedal capabilities. So something you see again, authors try to infer that this is what should have, what may have happened at that particular point in time. So why I am discussing this passage, although CLAT will, I don't think, looking at the previous 2 years CLAT paper, that this kind of passage may come. But why I am still discussing it is because it's a different type of passage. It has a lot of inferences in it, and it shows that inferences may be important in such kind of passage. The other thing is that in a passage where author is narrating or describing, I should not say narrate, describing what someone else has found out. So the person who has found out something, his belief becomes important, and questions can be asked around that. So let us see. I picked up 4 questions. So these are the 4 questions. You can stop the video and give it a try, and then you can check my solution also. So the first is, the fossils of DG invalidate all of the following except. Now the question itself sounds confusing. Invalidate all of the following except. Now how to deal with such questions? So I look one thing at a time. The fossil of DG invalidate all of the following. So when I say invalidate all of the following, means I have to mark the option which has false in it, which says this is false. Invalidate means 3 things will be validated and 1 thing will be invalidated. So I will mark something which is false. But then an except is also given. An except is also given. That means I have to look for a thing which is in fact true in nature, which is validated by the passage, or which is perhaps not invalidated by the passage, that kind of thing. So do one thing at a time. Think when you are thinking, thing number 1 is you have to find an option which invalidates. That means which is false as per the passage. Then an except is written. So that means 3 options will be false and 1 will be true as per the passage. I will have to mark the true one. Let us see. The earliest direct ancestors of humans evolved from quadruped terrestrial apes. Can I say that? It's very confusing. So I can't say anything about it because I have to read it again and say. It remains unclear whether bipedalism arose in ground-dwelling or tree-dwelling ancestors. This is definitely what they have talked about in the last 2 paragraphs. That what may have happened is they believed, but that has been proven false, and the passage has taken a lot of inferences, so nothing conclusive can be said, and that's why out of 1 and 2, this definitely is true. But let us look at the other option also. Human ancestors began standing upright millions of years later than previously thought. Human bipedalism first evolved in our closest relatives, gorilla and chimpanzee. Now, if you see, 3rd and 4th clearly are not the right answer. It was, for me actually, it was between 1 and 2, but I did not require to go back and read the passage, because this definitely is true as per the passage. So that should be the answer. Next, she knew she was looking at something special. Which of the following was not special about the bones? The bones were oldest example of an upright ape. So I don't like this word oldest example. So this could be the answer. This is a rotten word. So I don't like this oldest. It's given quite old. I don't know oldest. But let me look at the other options also. The bone had a striking resemblance to human bones. This is definitely true. That is something special. The bones belong to previously unknown species. This is also true. So this can't be the answer. The bones delinked the evolutions of humans and great apes. Now, understand, this is complete contrary to what is being said. The bones delinked the evolution of humans and great apes. It means that the discovery has proved or established that there is no link between the evolution of humans and great apes. In fact, that is not given in the passage. So out of 1 and 4, 1 doesn't look too right to me because it has a rotten word in it. It says that it's quite old. but 4 is definitely opposite of what is being said. So what should I mark? Now, out of 1 and 4, it will be very difficult for me to defend option number 4, because that is in essence opposite to what is said. So that's why 4 should be the right answer. Next, which of the following best describes the locomotion that the researchers dubbed as extended limb clambering? So extended limb clambering was mentioned here. None had heard of this hybrid locomotion. So this definitely means hybrid locomotion, dubbed extended limb clambering. So extended limb clambering means both kind of movement. So let us see. The way in humans walked upright, okay, the walk of the quadruped apes, upright walking that evolved in apes walking on the ground, the movement style of the apes before they became bipedal. Now, can 1 and 2 be the answer? No, because they represent only one side. One talks about only humans, 2 talks about quadruped apes. So these 2 cannot be the answers. And what I am looking for is an option which tells me in a way both the things. All right. So let us see the way in which humans. So this can't be the answer. Upright walking that evolved in apes walking on the ground. This is out of scope. It's a scrambled option also. Upright walking that evolved in apes walking on the ground. So a very nothing of this sort is being mentioned, and it's not mentioned that it evolved in the apes who were walking in the on the ground. So this is not the right answer. 4, the movement style of the apes before they become bipedal. Yeah. So this is what the movement style was, that they used to have both the things. I mean bipedal also, and they can swing also. So answer is 4. Here we have something that does not exist today. What does begin imply by this statement? So it was given in the second last paragraph. I think here something that does not exist today. What does this imply? The fact that discovered apes have long been extinct. Of course, this is not the answer. The need to develop new fossil-based models of locomotion doesn't look like a good option. We have something that does not exist today. It just tells me that we are short of knowledge. So not the good option for me to mark. The realization that those type of humans do not exist anymore. Oh, 1 and 3 are both very safe, so they can't be the answer. 4, and this is also wrong. 4, the fact that today's apes are different from those found during recent discoveries. Today's apes are different from those found during recent discoveries. Only one discovery is being talked about. Today's apes are different has not been talked about, out of the scope. So what to do in such question in which none of the options satisfy? So what I will do is the option which is best defendable. That is only option number 2. Of course, we can debate that how can we infer that. Now, because the question is on implication, what does it imply? I can say that, okay, we are lacking in something that is understood. So implication is that we need to work on that. That's the best defense that I can have for option number 2, considering that other 3 cannot be the answer at all. I mean, they are no way related. 2 is at least getting implied. So that is why answer should be 2. So that is it, guys. I hope you understood how to or what to focus on such kind of passages. Right? Oh, there is one more question. All of the following can be inferred about DG except they lived long before humans separated from their cousins. They had a mixture of anatomical features that tell us about how humans started walking. Yeah, they have this. They could use their lower and hind legs equally. This is also given. They belong to the suborder of primates to which human species belong. This cannot be inferred. They do not belong to suborder of the primates. They were the ancestors, right? So that's what they are trying to say. So that is it. Now I should say thank you for watching this video. Right. Thanks.